Disclaimer: we are unqualified and unapologetic. We are not professionals, just married. Take what works, leave what doesn't. Let's do this.
Sessions and lessons unscripted. The mic crackles, truth unrestricted. Voices raw like alleys at midnight. Spitting fire, no filter, just insight.
Hello. it's me, it's Joel, host of Sessions and Lessons Unscripted. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys as always. And right across from me, the nasally, stuffy, allergy-ridden, what else?
Flea bag.
No, you're not a flea bag. Gloria Rosario, everyone.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. It's me, the nasally version of me. Try to cope.
Well, I hope you're not getting sick. Maybe it's your allergies.
Well, the asthma acted up when I walked in.
Oh, yeah, you did have like a little attack when you came.
Yeah, I had an asthma attack today, and my allergies are a little bit strong today.
So if she sounds a little verklempt today, that's why.
My apologies, but, I do everything I can for you guys. I needed to record this episode.
I think it still sounds sexy, though.
Ew.
Yeah, it was right.
I'm over here all snotty. My nose is like Rudolph.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what I just...
Yeah, I'm all like, my eyes are bulging right now.
Yeah, she does not look great.
I do not feel great, but here I am.
But you look great to me.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we are going to just dive right in today, and we kind of wanted to discuss past couple episodes that we've done. One episode being my story, and the other one being Glow's story, kind of giving you a glimpse at where we're coming from, a little bit of our backgrounds and whatnot. So I don't know if a lot of you have read things or heard things about us, be it through the blog or whatever, interacting with us on socials or whatever. Other than like what's going on right now or whatever, both Gloria and I have been victims of abuse. We both suffer from, I was going to say, we both suffer from mental illness, which probably would sound weird, but Gloria has a history of depression, and I myself have depression and a couple other issues and whatnot that we are currently working on, and including the past stuff that has happened with us. Won't go into great detail now. I mean, we can, but we mainly wanted to talk about the past two episodes because some questions came up, and the episodes are longer than normal anyways. And even then, stuff was left out, and, so the episodes weren't 4 hours long. We kind of gave you the Cliff Note versions of our story. And I'm sure when you guys listen to the stories, you'll kind of have questions. And like I said, both of us are open books. So if you guys want to share anything, or if you got questions or make comments about what we've said, please feel free. Reach out to us via the socials and the email. It's at sessionsandlessonsmail@gmail.com, and any of the socials, you can search my name or Sessions and Lessons and you'll find us. Right, Gloria?
Yes.
So, like I was saying, we'll just jump right into it and kind of answer a couple questions. And I know Glow had some questions for me. I had some for her. And Yeah, I mean, I know, um, for myself, the to keep it all in simplest terms, I was abused and a victim of abuse. I was 15 years old and groomed by someone that was 27. And at the time, I didn't even think about it, right? I was just going through a bunch of other stuff. And, you know, when you really look at it, I mean, you got to call it what it is, right? It's a predator preying on a younger person through manipulation and stuff like that. And like I said, I don't want to villainize anyone, name names or anything. And I know others that were involved. Uh, and I mean, we were all victims. I wasn't the only victim here. So, um, but I guess there's a term for what I'm experiencing or I've experienced. Like I think in the psychology world, they'll call it like recovered memory or even dissociative amnesia. And I think um, those are like the scientific terms for it.
Well, I mean, I remember we had the conversation one time, and I even brought up the Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I would say that too. Um, and it didn't dawn on me until later in life what was really going on. And I've uh, it's like my situation. If anyone out there, especially from the '90s, you remember that one case, it was pretty famous. They even made a movie loosely based on it, which is on Netflix. And I mean, this movie, like, really, um, it kind of, it, I was going to say spoke to me, but
It was parallel to what was happening with you.
yeah, it was crazy. So the story is in the 90s, I'm sure some of you old heads out there remember there was a teacher and her and a student hooked up, and then they ended up getting married. And uh, they had kids and everything, and it's just crazy. Like some of the stuff that when I looked into the case, and even when I watched this movie, when Glow and I sat and watched this movie one day, I was I don't want to say I was squirming and felt cringy, but some of that stuff really, like, I related to it like so
It was
much.
like a parallel. Like,
Yeah,
didn't she also die from
yeah, she had cancer.
Yeah, she also
Yeah,
passed from cancer, which is so like
yeah, it's
parallel.
it's very parallel to that case. And I mean, obviously it wasn't a teacher student thing, but it was a May December relationship either way. And yeah, so the simplest way to put it is like it was just like that case. And you know, and I'm gonna admit something now, and some people may think, well, that's kind of weird or whatever. I mean, you guys can tell me this in the socials or whatever. But at one point, especially after I watched that movie, I kind of revisited that case and stuff like that, and it's like, man, it was just so I related to a lot of the stuff on there or in that case. And then my thinking was, man, I wonder how this guy thought or what he thought, because I was kind of in the same boat he was. And at one point I didn't reach out to him, but I think I found him on social media or something like that. And then I think I I requested to follow him, or I remember I think I sent him a link to my website. And I only did that because I was just I would want to talk to him because I'd be so curious because our lives are kind of the same, and I wanted to see what he was thinking, like, and I wanted to share what I was thinking or what I went through.
Right, but oh, excuse me, you guys. So from the looks of it, this guy just moved on. Like he doesn't give interviews.
No,
Right.
he just lives a normal life. He's just, I mean, I guess he's famous for the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah.
So, and he's got family, he's got kids, and you got to really respect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't reach out because I was nosy or I want to be, interview the guy or anything like that. I wanted to like kind of, I don't want to say befriend, but I wanted to tell my story and I wanted to hear him directly, right? Because it's like kind of the same. I don't know if that's weird or not. You guys can tell me, but what do you think? Do you think I'm weird for that?
No, I think that he's moved on from it.
Yeah,
He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't give interviews. He doesn't really, I don't think he's even written a book or anything.
I don't think so.
Offhand, I wouldn't know, but
No.
he seems to live a pretty normal, happy life with
You know what?
family.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what?
Good
And
for him.
good for you. Yeah, and I hope. I mean, I've seen some interviews with him after I think she passed and all that stuff, and he seemed like he was legit upset and whatnot. And I've been there, and I will say, and I'm not speaking for anyone else, when she died, when my wife died from cancer, stage 4 cancer. I don't think I mentioned this in the in my episode, but one of the feelings that I experienced was I felt like a huge weight was off my shoulders, and I can't even describe it. And it was kind of a relief, and there was times where I felt guilty about it, and then there was times where I was like, finally,
Right.
I don't feel like boxed in, or I don't feel like I'm being held back.
Right.
And then it was, of course, my life forever changed after that, because it was like, now I'm by myself, I'm on my own, I can do, what I wanted to do, or I'm free. There's freedom there, right? And it was like a huge weight off my shoulders. And it's, I know you've asked me this question before about weren't you ever happy?
Yeah.
And I can't say that I was never happy or enjoyed myself or anything like that. I gotta be honest, right? I gotta say, yeah, I mean, it didn't bother me. And then I
Right.
just lived like a normal guy. But I don't want to say it was forced upon me, but that just became my life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then, it was funny too, because towards the end of it too, I kind of mentioned how she was becoming distant. And then I think I mentioned that at one point early on, I found a love letter or something from a coworker, and maybe that was my out, right? And I didn't take it. Like maybe that was my, I don't know, guardian angel, or who knows, telling me, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. But I still stuck around because I think by default I'm just like a loyal person, right? And anyways, when you fast forward towards the end, after she passed, and I mean, not to put dirty laundry out there, but there was a few emails I found, because I was, kind of clearing stuff out, and going through her stuff, and there was like emails and like with other guys or other men. One in particular, I think I mentioned them. And then I think her plan was to leave me, move to another state where this other person lived. She was going to take two of her kids and then leave the other two. It was just, it was kind of a surprising, kind of not when I found it, when I got, when I was going through all her stuff, closing her accounts down or whatever. But
Right.
at that point, it was neither here nor there. She was already gone. You know what I mean? So, and then I was starting to get angry and just like, I don't care anymore. And yeah, it was just whatever. But I don't know. But yeah, there was just a few things that I had left out of the story. Like, I'm telling you, right now I'm 50 years old. You got to think, I, why do you laugh? Why is that so funny? Anyways, yeah, I'm 50. I'm old. I'm an old head. I'm an unk. Would you say I'm unk status?
Definitely.
That's what I've heard. And the people are starting to call me unk. Anyways, so you guys got to think I was 15 years old when this happened.
The funny thing is that at 15,
Mhm.
you don't know squat about life.
Of course, you're still technically a kid.
You're not necessarily not like
You're
a little
approaching,
kid,
yeah,
and you're not an adult yet.
no.
You're like smack in the middle of it.
yeah, you're kind of still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that just shows you how long it I was how old when she passed? 40, like 41, 42 I was.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I was already with her since I was 15 and I'm in my 40s. So that just shows you right there. So, so yeah, I mean, after, like I said, after all of that, that's when I was a widower, a bachelor for like 3 years, a little over 3 years.
About
And then that's when Gloria came into my life
the unfortunate.
and everything was better. Well, not really. I still got to fix problems. So, see, that's kind of why I say, like, all this life coaching stuff and positive thinking stuff, mindset stuff, all that stuff, I get it. And it's something I've been dabbling in for a long, long, long time. I know what needs to be done. I've heard a bunch of stuff, whatever. But I think, and like I said, I hate making excuses, but that's why I think it's a little harder for me because there's other issues that I need to take care of. And yes, I know. I already know some of my buddies out there. Come on, dude, get your, head out of your rear end and just do it. You have to put the work in. I get it. I know. It is a little challenging. But and then I think a lot of people don't think about that when it's going to be more hard for some people than others. What do you think? To kind of like adopt those new practices and things like that. Because, yeah, you can change your mindset. You can do all this positive thinking stuff, but
But you have to start somewhere.
sure.
And you have to take that initiative to want to get better and to
Exactly.
want to feel better.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, right? Because you got to put the work in. Even if you have depression, mental illness, you have PSTD,
PTSD. here.
whatever. But you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, you still gotta search for help and do your part. So, and did you have other questions? Or
I did actually have a few questions,
okay,
and it's just a few.
that's fine. Let's do it.
Okay, so one of the questions that I have is Did the school ever get involved when you cut class? Because it sounds like you were cutting a lot. And then what did you do, or what did you tell them?
Okay. Yes, we did cut class a lot. For you guys that didn't catch it, um, so we would cut class and go hang out at this woman's house. That was like our hideout or whatever. I did not say anything to the school. Why would I? I'm cutting class. Hello.
Right, but okay. So, real quick example. I was doing the same thing before I got caught with paraphernalia and whatnots in school.
Hmm.
I had a boyfriend who was, I think, I was 15 and he was 20 something.
Hmm.
And I would ditch school to go hang out with him. And I called pretending to be my mom, saying that I had asthma issues and breathing issues and allergic reactions.
Okay.
And I would not change my voice, but I would bring out the Mexican
Oh no. Seriously?
Mexican accent. And I got away with it for a really long time until we had parent teacher conferences.
Oh my
And my
God.
douchebag of
Oh,
I don't know what they're called. They're called like deans or something, right?
yeah, I guess.
My mom walked in and she's like, "Oh, we got your calls about your daughter. You must have a lot of problems because, her allergies have been really bad."
Mm,
My mom kind of like was caught off guard, but she wasn't trying to throw me under the bus.
uh-huh.
But she looked so confused that right away that gave it away.
Mm.
So then they're like, "So how did what's going on here?" And then that's when I had to come clean and tell them I was cutting class to hang out with, people outside of school. My mom was so pissed.
I don't know. I probably would have took that to the grave with me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
And I'm gonna ask you,
what?
can you do the voice now?
No.
I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have asked that. That was kind of insensitive.
No, I mean, it would be like it's still my voice, but I talk a little like this.
You throw a little Mexican twang in
And
there.
and a lot of stuttering and like this and
Wow.
Gloria no good feel, just stupid things like that. And it was
I
an
don't
older
know.
white secretary,
I
so
probably shouldn't have laughed.
no, it was like an older, white secretary, and she didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Well, I'll give you points for being clever.
I was so clever.
Wow.
Yeah, if I had only applied myself to what I should have applied myself,
I'm telling you, you wouldn't be married to me right now.
no, I'd probably be a con artist somewhere.
Yeah, you'd be like a physicist or a professor or something somewhere.
Yeah, but nope,
Not with my dumb self over here.
no.
Anyways, yeah. So I didn't say anything to the
So
school,
you
and the
just
school
cut
never.
class, and then
Well, the
never.
school found out after a while, obviously, because I wasn't there. Um, maybe at one point they did contact my parents
They had
because
to have because
yeah, I don't remember, to be honest with you.
and plus you went to private school, right?
No, in high school I was in a public school.
Oh, okay.
No, I went to my grade school. I was in private school.
No, but still, well,
I'm sure they probably did. I mean, they noticed after a while, I'm sure.
yeah, because they would send letters home just to confirm, and I would get home before everybody and I would check the mail.
No, I didn't. I wasn't that clever.
And I'd be like, "Nope, mom doesn't need to see this. She doesn't need to see that."
Maybe there was a letter. I never saw it. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know, I'm just asking. And then the following question I had was did you ever have a confrontation or a discussion with her husband? Like you never questioned?
No, absolutely not. Although I will admit this, and I've never told anyone this before.
Mm-hmm.
So buckle up, everyone. There was one time, and this was early on, and I remember I was hanging out. At this time, I was already living at her. I left home already. I ran away. I was living in the friend's house because she had left her house to live with her friend who was recently divorced. So I was living there along with them two and their children. And there was one day, well, there was one at one point. The father was still around. He would come pick the kids up, and they had like joint custody at the time. And there was one day where he came over, and I was hanging out with my wife at the time. Well, we weren't married yet, but I think we had just went into one of the rooms or something like that. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but I was in there, and then all of a sudden there was this commotion outside or by the door, and it was him, and he was arguing with, I think, the friend. I don't remember. And then I remember he yelled, he forced his way in to the house. And then at one point, I had to hide because this guy was like, he was pissed. So, and I guess he suspected I mean, they were already getting split up, so I don't know what he was suspecting to catch some other man there. I have no idea what his intent was. But
There was no man there.
no, there was no man there.
I'm sorry.
But I remember I had to hide in the closet, and I mean, my heart's racing because I'm thinking, what's this guy? This guy's like insane. So he came in there. I think he busted the door open, and then at one point, and I'm hiding in the closet, right? So he swings open the door, and I'm laying on the floor, like with stuff on top of me, and you could see my feet. My feet were out, but he was so like, angry, and just he kind of opened the closet door, kind of glanced in there, didn't see anything in there, not looking anywhere else. And then I remember they were like hitting the guy, punching him, telling him to get out, that they were going to call the cops on him. And then he had left after that. And I'm surprised I didn't pass out from fear or whatever. My heart was racing so bad. But anyway, that's the only quote unquote confrontation. And I never interacted with him or anything like that. And of course, I didn't know what was going on. I was scared. So, and I'm a kid, right? So I don't know, this grown ass man is coming in there and just, whatever. I never told anyone that story. So this is the first time I'm telling you this story too.
You've never mentioned that.
No.
But you know what popped into my head? I'm stuck in the closet.
Oh, I was stuck in the closet.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, it was an R. Kelly song back in the day.
Oh, R. Kelly.
Because he's stuck in the closet.
It's ironic that you brought that up because he's, gross. All right, to answer your question, no, not directly. I'd never interacted with him.
Okay. And then, how did her mom react to your age? Did she even know?
Honestly, because we ended up living with her mom, because once the whole divorce between my wife
And her husband.
and her husband
Mhm.
was finalized, he left their house where they live with their mother, with her mother, and then we left her friend's house to live there. So we moved back to into her house with her mother. I don't think her mother ever knew how old I was. I don't know. I know she gave her daughter a bunch of crap about me. I don't know the details of it. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it ever came, the age thing ever came up. I don't know. I don't know what they, I know her and her mom weren't always see, would always see eye to eye. But, yeah, honestly, I don't think she ever knew how old I was or what her daughter was up to.
Because, I mean, at 15, you don't look fully grown.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, she would take me places and like, oh, this is my boyfriend or this is my husband, or she'd call me her husband. And that's why I said it didn't occur to anyone that like at one point we'd go to like someone's house for a cookout and it's a friend of her daughter's from school
Right.
and her parents, and it's like she brings this kid over basically and no one.
That is so weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe they did say something when we left or behind our backs, but no, never directly.
Okay, and then the next question that I had is, do you think if you would have gone home sooner, things would have ended differently? Like, do you think things would have been better?
What do you mean
Your
gone
parents.
home sooner?
Like, if you went back home to your mom?
Oh, if I just said this isn't right and went back?
Yeah,
Well, like I said, I had the opportunity, I think, though, when I found the first letter.
right.
And that's why I said I thought it was a kind of a door to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could have been like, this lady's no good. And like,
Right.
I can go back home. And yeah, I think my life would have been way different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I missed out on so much because of this. I alienated my family. My brother, who I was very close to when we were kids, I never spoke to him. I never hung out with him. I was never there to be his big brother, which that's one of my regrets. And I got many. And I know people are going to be like, oh, that, don't think about that and regrets, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, and I'm sorry for, and I said that in the episode that, I put my parents in a position, I put my family in a position, they didn't deserve to get what they got. And I feel guilt about that because, I didn't see what was going on and whatever. And, I missed out on a lot. I mean, a lot.
Yeah, but the good thing is that, you were able to mend the relationship and it's gotten better, no?
I mean, pretty much back to normal, yes. But I will admit, I still have issues with staying in contact with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we speak and we go over to their place, and I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I sit down and I think, man, the damage is already done. Like, and I know we reconciled and I told the whole prodigal son thing and everything was quote unquote back to normal, but it really wasn't because I wasn't around for a huge chunk of my lifetime.
Right.
So, and even now, I don't talk to them as much as I should. I don't visit them as much as I should. Is it just habitual? I
Well,
don't.
I don't mean to sound disrespectful to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a two-way street. You know,
I get that, yeah, but I don't blame them at all. I not a- I if
it's not necessarily a blame thing,
mm,
right? But it is a two-way street. You know,
I get that, and
um,
that's true, but
and I say that only because you know, like I talked about on my episode, I had a horrible relationship with my mom for a while.
yeah,
You know, and even as a grown up in my late 20s, early 30s and stuff, there were still, a bunch of rocky moments and stuff. But she's changed a lot, and I've changed a lot, and circumstances have changed a lot. And I've been put in a position where I have to make life or death decisions for my mom, right? So I don't want to say that we have like the most perfect relationship because it's still a little, on and off. But for the most part, she's making an effort and I'm putting in the effort for it.
well, it's interesting you brought that up because I think my mother in particular, like even when I moved in with them when they weren't, excuse me, retired and
Yeah,
they moved back to Puerto Rico, my mom changed a lot.
right.
Like you figure her, I guess her views, the way she looked at stuff, her attitude about certain things. I was kind of pleasantly surprised at some of it. Like, I mean, man, the old you wouldn't have, whatever, been so understanding or,
Again, it's even when you're an older person, you still mature with age
mm,
and you see things from a different perspective.
hmm
And I think that might have a lot to do with, the changes that your mama underwent.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I think I answered your question.
Yeah, you did.
I think.
There's no right or wrong answer. I was just trying to get a perspective on that.
hmm
And then, the final question that I have is, did her mom ever question, you adopting the kids or anything?
She might actually. You know what? Now that you mention it, I think she was opposed to it. I don't think she thought it was pointless. And why is this random guy?
Adopting.
Yeah. So I think there was, but her mother was very. I don't want to say mean, but she wasn't like she didn't have like a. Well, she never told her daughter she loved her.
Right.
She always was kind of, you know, bitching at her about something.
Yeah.
She wasn't. It was very rare to see them both like talking normally or like laughing about stuff or
Yeah.
she, like I said, she never told her daughter that she loved her. And I think at one point she actually did tell her that she wished she never had her.
Oh, okay.
And I think one of the things with her was that she was jealous of her husband because she was a daddy's girl
Oh, okay.
and he passed away.
Yeah.
And then she was stuck with her daughter and she had like this resentment. So I don't know. I never really talked to her about it. And it was like, whatever. I just thought her mom was like not nice.
Mm,
And she just tolerated things, because she's kind of forced to.
right.
So, yeah, her mom was like, I mean, whatever. I mean, towards the end, she was getting a little more, not friendly, but like lightened up, I guess is a way to put it.
Right.
So, but at that point, I was kind of indifferent to her.
Okay.
So that's it.
Yeah, that basically covers my questions.
Yeah, and there might be other stuff. Like I said, I left a lot of stuff out, and I can elaborate on a lot of stuff. I told you, I was 15. I'm 50 now, so yeah, it's a long time. And
Right.
but yeah, and then on Glow's episode, I'm sure there was stuff that maybe you wanted to elaborate on, or is there anything that you wanted to elaborate on your story, or things you think maybe you wanted to tell people that you didn't tell on the episode?
Yes, as we listened back to the episode,
Mm.
I realized that I kind of made my mom sound like a villain.
I don't think you
No,
did.
because I mentioned that she kicked me out of the house and, she
Mm.
chose her husband at the time over me. But I just wanted to say that I didn't mean for my mom to sound like that.
Your mom is a great person,
She
I
is
think.
awesome.
She's awesome.
She's changed a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially within these last few years since we've been married.
Well, I know. I mean, I didn't take it that way, but I know what you're saying. You kind of you think you made your mom look bad.
And she did the best that she could. Again, we forget that our parents have their own trauma. They went through their own issues.
That's true, and you know what? Respect, because she was a single mom, and
We struggled a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't always easy. I mean, I was a dick. I was, rebellious at a super young age.
Mhm.
I did a lot of things that maybe I shouldn't have done, and I said a lot of evil things that I shouldn't have said to her.
Right.
But it's a part of growing up. Now that I'm older and I understand life better than I did at 15.
Mhm.
My mom and I have a great relationship now. We've gotten closer since my grandmother's passed.
Mm.
I think her being in the hospital, I became the power of attorney for her stroke. I made a lot of decisions that kind of my mom didn't agree with, but I had her bestest interest in heart,
Mhm.
And I think she sees that, I have done a lot and I have grown up, and I'm not that same 15-year-old. As an adult now, I have my own opinions, I have my own, beliefs, my own things separate from my mom. And obviously, I mean, my mom and I still don't see eye to eye on certain things, like,
I mean, who really does?
No.
You know.
but I accept her for who she is.
Mhm.
And I came to the realization that my mom is a human and she's made mistakes in the past. And I think that a lot of the times, a lot of the things that my mom put us through
Mhm.
was because she was doing the best that she could. Because at the end of the day, yes, we did have my uncles and my aunts to kind of help. But eventually everybody left. And it was just us and my mom,
Mhm.
I mean, I remember sometimes she couldn't pay the light bill and we'd, we lose the lights for a couple days, or, we were not without gas a few times, and it was just like, it was just a part of our lives. Like, we didn't question anything because at the end of the day, my mom worked her ass off.
Mhm.
My mom's work ethic rubbed off on me,
Yeah.
and it's like, you have to do what you have to do to get your family up and moving, And I just think that because my mom was raised in Mexico and, it's a different culture here in the US,
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't want to, people to think that my mom's like this villainous person who had like no consideration for her kids. She did the best that she could. And I was not I wasn't the easiest kid to bring up,
Mhm.
I have my flaws, she has her flaws, but it's all in the past.
Right.
We've done things to each other. We've said evil things to each other. At the end of the day, she's still my mom.
Yeah.
Do I want to choke her sometimes? Yes. Does she want to choke me sometimes? Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sure she wants to do that to you all the time.
I'm still not an easy adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have my funky days where,
That's everyone, though.
yeah. But do you have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna, because I know at one point you were talking about you ended up um, selling drugs and stuff like that to basically support the family, and because I know you, like you just mentioned, that sometimes the lights went out and the gas went out, and you kind of took it upon yourself to, trying to make extra cash to make sure stuff was paid. Is that something that you ever regret, or you think it was? I mean, I don't want to use the word justified, but I mean, you did it. Well, you did say that you did it for selfish reasons.
I did, absolutely, I did.
Okay.
You know,
But at the same time, you were still trying to take care of your family.
and the thing is, it's like, when my mom got depressed, after all that stuff happened, with her, I don't know what to call him, whatever, the dude
But her
that was living
ex.
with her ex.
Yeah.
Um, it took a lot out of my mom mentally,
Mm,
and I don't want to put my mom's business out there because she was going through stuff,
right.
and I was facilitating things for her. I'm
Hmm.
just gonna leave it at that. And I didn't realize what I was doing because they were prescription pills, and you don't think that prescription pills and other stuff are the same. But I did what I had to do just because I
Well,
didn't.
would you say you were just in survival mode
I was
then?
survival mode.
Mm.
I really was because my mom wasn't all there, and it's like, what the hell do we do now? Like I'm the oldest. I didn't expect my brothers to. I could have easily gone to McDonald's and gotten a job to help.
Hmm.
I could have easily gone to, anywhere to get a job at that point. Um, but I wanted to have fun. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to not feel anything.
Right. But at this point, you weren't using the. Well, you were using or not using.
I started using a little bit here and there.
But then you really, after you stopped selling, you started using.
Yes. Because as Biggie said, you don't get high on your own supply, you know?
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to.
But
Didn't Scarface say that too?
all of
Or
them.
it's in Scarface somewhere.
All the big
I
baddies.
used to be able to quote that movie. Is that ghetto or what?
No.
I mean, it might be a tad ghetto that I used to be able to quote Scarface word for word.
You know, my biggest regret though is I started to get a little careless,
Hmm.
and my brothers started to see me doing things.
Yeah, you did mention that your brother said something to you about losing respect for you
Yeah, but that was like later on in life. We were older, a little older, and I remember that I was doing something. I don't know if I was weighing stuff out but I had everything laid out on the floor.
No, I think you've told me this story.
And my brothers walked in and they're like, "What are you doing? What is that?"
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Get the hell out of the room." And I just kind of kicked them out and just kind of put everything away. And it didn't occur to me, like, I'm putting my brothers in a position,
Yeah.
like I used to see the other people in my family like drink and just, get stupid. I was doing the same thing to them.
Mm.
You know, they would see me come home. They knew. My mom was a little, I don't want to call her naive, but she was
She was in her own
she was in her own world.
thing. Yeah.
I would come home, I would have bloodshot eyes.
Hmm.
I'd be mumbling and my mom would be like, "What's wrong with you?" "Oh, my allergies are really bad. I just took a Benadryl or I just took something, so I'm just going to go to bed." And I wasn't fully aware of what I was doing to my brothers,
Yeah.
again, because I was being selfish at the time.
Right.
But when I found out that one of them was doing stuff, I was so pissed. I was like, don't you see what I'm going through to like get off of this stuff? And just, dude, no, you know,
Did you blame yourself at all?
I did. I still do to this day.
Mm.
I feel like maybe if I would have been a little bit more careful or a little bit more strict on what I was doing around with them, or being around, maybe it wouldn't have gone that way. Or I still blame myself for that. And you get to a point where you're like, you know what? It's not my responsibility. Like, they saw how much it messed me up.
Hmm.
I got kicked out of school. I got expelled. It was just something that I didn't want them to go through,
Hmm.
and I think that's one of the major reasons why I stopped completely. I just,
So you stopped just cold turkey, right? You didn't go
I
to
did.
like rehab. You
Okay,
didn't
so that's the one thing I forgot to mention.
Hmm.
When I decided to stop, I went to an alternative night school, and it was in a Maryville Academy, but they had like a night school program, and it was called YAP, Young Adult Program.
Hmm.
And I would go there, and it was probably one of the best places for me to be at that point. The principal there was really awesome. The teachers there were really nice. They treated you like an adult, and I met a girl there who was in rehab.
Hmm.
She went to she was telling me about Al-Anon or something like that, or Alcoholics Anonymous.
Anonymous, right?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't have a drinking problem, dude. I was like, ugh. She's like, it doesn't matter. She's like, it just covers everything.
Right.
So I went, and I was so like taken back by everything, because it seemed like everybody wanted to be my sponsor, and it was like a competition, you know.
Right.
And oh, don't go with them because they're like this, and it seemed kind of like high schoolish for me,
Right.
because it was a bunch of teenagers, around my age. Maybe the oldest one was like 22, 23.
Mm.
And I was like, I don't like it. I went to like one or two meetings, and then I never went back.
Mm.
So I decided to do a cold turkey, and it was the most painful thing that I've ever done to myself.
Really.
Yes, because I went through withdrawals. It was horrible.
Well, that usually goes. You go through that even if you go to rehab. No.
Well, this Alcoholics Anonymous was just like a group,
Mm.
where they have like a 12-step program. You work the steps, and then you get coins for a certain amount of time, like for your first year,
Right.
5 year, 10, whatever. And I'm not a person to like structure. I don't like being told what to do, and it
Yeah, I
clashed.
know that.
No, it clashed with everything. I was like, I don't like this. I'm not going back.
Hmm.
And I didn't go back. I just locked myself. I don't remember if I was at a friend's house. Those days were so blurry for me. Like, I don't remember. I just remember that I slowly started to feel better. And then one day I woke up and I ate, and it was a struggle not to fall back into it. But I
Right.
kept thinking about my family. I can't keep letting them down. I can't let them keep seeing me like this, because I am the backbone to them. I am the one who's supposed to take care of them. And I had a lot of guilt, and I think that's probably what got me through, you know, wanting to still be here for my brothers, wanting to, not necessarily make my mom proud, because my mom had like no clue I was going through this stuff. She only found out recently, you know, and I told her, and, we talked about it, and she's like, oh, I had no idea.
Hmm.
And she would ask me, like, what did you do? When did you do it? And I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't like to talk about that, especially with my mom, because I feel like if I told her the truth about everything that went on, it would kind of break her heart. And it's not her fault. Nothing that happened to me was her fault. It was just the circumstances that happen in life.
I think there's sometimes things are just better left unsaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, I was like, don't worry about it. I was like, the point is that I've been clean. And we've talked about this recently. When my grandmother first passed away,
Yeah.
I hadn't craved anything in a really long time. And let me tell you, I was just very close to picking the phone up and just calling some random person that still does stuff and just meet them up and just do something. But I've looked at my life to see how far I've come.
Mm.
My life isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. I am a very flawed person. But I never want to fall back into that because it's going to ruin everything that I've worked so hard to put together.
Right.
I can't put my family through that. I can't put you guys through that. It's just, I don't feel that what I'm going through is so bad that I need to start using it again.
Right.
And thankfully I've gotten it under control. Nothing happened.
Well, too, you have such a. I mean, I try to be a great support system, and I think, especially now with your family and everyone's grown up and gone through all the hardships and all of that stuff, and you guys are past all of that now, and have grown and have become better people. Not that you weren't good before, but
Right.
I don't know. It just, uh, you know, I think you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I know. But, you know, I've been clean for so long that it's like
Well, almost 20 years, right?
about give or take.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's somewhere up there. I lost track. But it's important for me to stay clean, because I'm not as young as I used to be. I don't think my heart could take half the crap that I used to do,
Mm, yeah, we're old.
I'm old and,
Well, you're not as old as I am, though.
no, but I'm right behind you. No, but you know what? I did put myself in a lot of positions where I shouldn't have put myself in. I'm going to tell you something
Hmm.
that I don't know if I've told you, and if I didn't, it's just because we've never really I don't like to talk about that part of my life very often. But there was this one night where I had let's see, it was one, two, there was like 4 or 5 people that I was hanging out with at that time.
Hmm.
And we met somebody at work who did he had a lot of connections, and one of my friends is like, "Oh, let's try dropping acid." And I never done anything like that before in my life, you know. So I was like, "Screw it, why not?" It was just another typical Friday night. We got off of work. We met up with someone that he knew. We got what we needed to do. We decided to drink orange juice. And when you do that and you drink orange juice, it heightens it so much more. I don't know what the correlation with it is, but
Maybe the citric acid or something.
I don't know. But
Well, whatever.
whatever. I'm not I didn't care for the science
You're not
behind
a
it.
scientist.
No, I'm not. But I remember that at first it was all cool. Like we were laughing, we were having a good time. Just it was cool. But as the night went on, we started to kind of just live in our little world.
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't know whether it happened or not, if it was a hallucination. But I think I don't know if it happened or not. Somebody might have taken advantage of me, and I just remember that I opened my eyes and there was somebody on top of me and they were like, you know, you want this. And then I passed out. But then I woke up and I was by myself in the room. So to this day, I don't know whether something happened to me or not.
Mm.
And I just think to myself, like, I don't think anything happened. It was just the not knowing bothered me for a really long time, you know. And I couldn't ask any of the other people that I was with because everybody was like gone.
Yeah, they were just as
And then,
messed up.
yeah, you know, and as it turns out, the guy that was there ended up leaving way before I had that hallucination.
So he wasn't even there.
He wasn't even there.
Mm.
And I was like, if it wasn't, and the thing was, is this like, you don't realize when you're that deep into, you know, substances,
Hmm.
the danger that you're putting yourself in. It doesn't matter if they're your friends or not.
Right.
You put yourself at risk, not only for overdose or, you know, for a bad reaction or a bad trip.
Hmm.
You're exposing yourself to things that could possibly happen to you.
Yeah, harmful stuff.
Harmful things,
Yeah.
but thankfully nothing had happened. I was able to confirm it with somebody who was not doing anything with us, you know.
Hmm.
And they're like, yeah, he wasn't even there at that point. He had already left. I was like, oh, well, that's good.
Right.
You know, but yeah, let that be a lesson. Like, just be careful with things.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I don't really think I have anything else. I mean, like I said, we're both old. So there's
You're older.
there's quite a bit to go through, and I'm sure, like, I mean, for myself, I'm not gonna speak for Gloria, but I know I probably miss some stuff, and I'll remember stuff later, and
Yeah.
but you know what, this
You
pod-
guys get the gist of
yeah, and like I
background.
said, if you have questions, you can always ask, and maybe that'll like kind of, I guess, remind us of stuff. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, but we just wanted to, the last couple episodes, wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of where we're coming from, who we are, why we are the way we are, and we just kind of wanted to tell our stories, and we want to continue to use those things to better ourselves, maybe help others out that have similar experiences. And I mean, we're still alive and kicking. And are things perfect? No, but I mean, you're always learning, you're always working on stuff, you're always uh, every day just getting better and better, right?
No, and the thing is like, this is the last statement I'm going to make, and then we can close out. I regret absolutely nothing that has happened in my life. Not even the drugs, not the alcohol, not. I lived a very colorful and full life.
Hmm.
You know, I don't regret anything of it.
Right.
I don't. Because all those negative things that happened to me in the past, the drug use, the abuse, the, you know, just witnessing people being abused and just living it night after night after night, you know, I regret nothing because all those little broken pieces make me who I am right now. You know, it's made me a compassionate person, an understanding person, a loving person, a person who stands up for herself, a person who stands up for the little person who can't stand up for themselves.
Hmm.
You know, so I have no regrets. You know, rumors and all this other stuff, I don't care about anything like that. I don't have to prove myself to anybody.
Right.
You know, you don't like me? Perfect. You like me? I love you. You know what I mean? Outside of that, I don't care. So I regret nothing.
Well, I'm going to admit this, and I want to say I don't regret anything. And I did kind of touch on it. I mean, I've had a bunch of regrets in my life and stuff like that. But at this point, it's neither here nor there, right? It's
There's no point in beating yourself up now.
right. It's just continue on, grow from it, and whatever. If things didn't work out your way, or they didn't go as planned, or whatever, I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. It's like,
Right.
what are you gonna do now? So I know I got to tell myself that constantly. It's like, look, dude, like, yeah, you went through some stuff, but it's like, what are you gonna do now? And now what? Like, I have a buddy of mine that one of his things is
And
and and every time he tells me that, I'm like, I mean, that's like just 3 letters, and it's like, it really like kind of hits you hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you know, you ran away from home from when you were 15, you came back and whatever, but you got regrets. And what are you going to do about it? Like, you know, you're not really where you want to be in your life right now. And what are you going to do about it? So,
you have to put the work in.
got to do it.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. If you guys got any questions, you want us to elaborate on stuff, don't hesitate to ask. We'll if we can remember with our old selves, we'll elaborate and kind of answer your questions. Don't forget to visit the website, sessionsandlessonsunscripted.com. And again, if you guys have suggestions, questions, or anything, the email is sessionsandlessonsmail@gmail.com. You can even reach us through our socials. Don't forget those: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And yeah, we'll engage with you there also if you'd like. And we really do appreciate you guys listening. I hope, you know, I hope those few episodes that we just did weren't that long.
We
tried,
rambled.
yeah, we tried not to make them that long.
We started off in the beginning making them about an hour, but I think keeping it down to like 35, 45 minutes.
Well, that's not even that. I mean, there's like so much ground to cover. We didn't want to, you know, make it like an encyclopedia of, you know, all of our stories and stuff. We got time. Let's just say that. Let's just leave it like that. I mean, we're here for a while. We're not planning on going anywhere. So we do appreciate you guys listening. We do appreciate all of you. Please let everyone know that we're here. Spread the word and share, like, subscribe, ring the bell. I don't know what all these newfangled terminologies are.
Right.
All right. Do you want to add anything, Lori, before we shut it down?
Really quick, we are available through all major streaming services. We're available for downloading and streaming. Just look us up and you will find us.
All right, guys. Thank you. Love you all. Love you all. Spread the word. Appreciate you. And we will catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.